Hey everybody, it's Diana at Catherine Diana Studios, and I don't know if you know about this publication because I didn't. A lot of you know I'm a big Halloween artist. That's my favorite and number one thing I do. I mean, I've got stuff laying around here. Look at all that. Woo! It's all around. But I thought I would share this because however many your local Barnes and Nobles has or your local craft store or whatever, that's all they're going to probably get. I thought I'd do an overview so you can see the awesome stuff in this. So hopefully there's not too much glare. I'm just going to keep going and not look in the camera. Excuse me, to double check. Mercy sakes. And here we go. So the cover, look at that. Isn't that cute? Now, ooh, let me get it down where you can really see it here. I see that glare. Ah, here we go. This looks like this was made with clay. I didn't really go through this, but imagine you could do something so similar, just using bits of cardboard, just flat pieces of cardboard, and just cut out your own designs and shapes. And you don't necessarily have to have, well, you wouldn't. I don't think it would be a good idea to have actual burning candles where you have cardboard, but you know, you can have the fake little battery ones or something like that. So isn't that cute? Excuse me, I have a feeling this is going to keep happening because where I live, it's a high desert. And so it's just been dry here. And so we're all coughing and hacking and can't talk. So in here, you know, ads for what's upcoming. The holiday one has some beautiful items. I don't know if you can see that. So here we go. Table of contents. Look at those. Wait, let me tip it that way. Okay, cute little apothecary bottles. This little quilty thing. This looks like it's made out of a cupcake or biscuit or whatever, tin, bake thing, whatever. This is like hand sewn, like you could do like a little slow stitch, kind of really cute altered little bracelet, some altered shoes, and this darling little pumpkin. So anyway, we have, here's the quilt piece. And, you know, buy your fat quarters or whatever you find, fabric at your local fabric store or online. Michael's has some cute Halloween stuff right now, Halloween fabrics. And you can make something like that. Here's a larger photo. It kind of has a little bit of an Alice in Wonderland kind of play on it with the queen there. Isn't that cute? And, you know, you could do something like that. You don't have to make... You can make tags, like if you make handmade journals like I do, or Halloween journals, you can make tags out of these bits and pieces too. Cut the fabric and use them like that. I do that all the time. Here's the little pumpkin girl, and here's the vintage. And you know, that might not even be vintage. Honestly, you know how you can get these at Dollar Tree, these little baking tins? I think if you went through with... either what's that stuff that can make things rust? You can do that, or you could just use paint. You know, mix whatever kind of paint you want and paint it on there, and then you get that distressed look on there. And then you can, you know, cut out little images, or you could even do your own little mini dioramas in there. You know, if you have little bitty pieces, things, buttons, figurines, little party favors and things like that, Halloween themed party favors, you can stick them in. You can do that. You can just leave them at like this. So many ways to do stuff. So, and how simple is that? It's a piece of paper with probably a digital cutout of a person, and you just cut out your own little faux witch hat, and you got yourself a cute little image. So, now this is a little party favors. This is really cute. So look at those. Aren't those cute? Hopefully that's not a lot of glare on there, and you can see that. Look like little lollipops, looking like ghosts. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Let me turn it that way where you can see it. So, cute little ideas. And you know, you don't have to have fancy dishes like this. You know, go to Dollar Tree. You can get the gold dishes and get the black dishes, blank gold, blank black. It's still going to be impactful and beautiful by the time you add some candles and other little miscellaneous things, even just the little glittery sprinkles of gold stars or silver stars. That in itself will just bling everything up and make it look really pretty. So you can decorate on a budget for sure. So this is really cute. adding this here. Check that out. Can you see that little pumpkin head guy? It's pretty awesome. And these are just oranges. Isn't that cute? So that's pretty cute. And then we have, oh, looks like we're getting into maybe some costumes. There's some more stuff here. And how to make, you know, there's lots of instructions on how to make this kind of stuff. And, you know, these photos can inspire you to use whatever bits and pieces you have. I mean, this is made out of burlap, and it's, you know, a 3D piece. And, you know, it looks like a piece of jewelry there. But you could make this flat out of paper and just do something similar. Create like maybe a banner to hang or something like that. Decorate your greeting cards that you're going to give to people by, you know, punching out or cutting out this kind of shape from just a brown bag paper, you know, stuff like this. And you can always, you know, use paint or ink or crayon or anything, pencil even, certain types of pencils, like your color pencils to distress it. You can even scratch it up. You can use a fork, you can use sandpaper, you can use the edge of scissors, all kinds of stuff. So, you know, we don't have to necessarily have the latest and greatest in tools to get a lot of this stuff done. We can achieve a lot of the same effects without spending so much money. So anyway, they're absolutely adorable. Aren't those cute? And then here's some tags. And this is more my speed. I love this kind of stuff. And that's cute. See if I can get that one there. You can see on the bottom, looks like the little earrings. And I was at Walmart. They have really cute little earrings like this for next to nothing. And bats and witches and just skeletons, all kinds of cute stuff for really reasonable. So this is a great way to use these little tins, or you can use any little box you might have around the house. And what's this? I know it's fabric. So all kinds of little fabric goodies here. Those are cute. Some ads, more little pumpkins, kind of the primitive look, really cute. Looks like some old canning jars that maybe they did a crackle finish on. I haven't read this, but a crackle finish of paint on the outside. Put the lid, part of the twisty lid on, not the actual flat lid. And that looks like that might be just some bits of threads, maybe some Spanish moss, something like that. You know, if you put a battery operated candle in there, done. You don't have to worry about heat. You don't have to worry about anything burning. You don't have to worry about accidental fire. Someone knocking something over and something catching on fire. Like if you did use thread or pieces of paper to create some kind of whatever, burlap, frayed burlap, whatever you have. So I'm a retired insurance risk manager. So things like that, I think about candles and things that can catch on fire all the time. Matter of fact, I don't even like the fact of how close this is to this big hot light here. So I'm going to move it back because I think about those things still, even though I'm long retired. So it looks like this here could have been maybe a napkin or printed images decoupaged on. That's cute. And then we have more cards. And then here's that cover piece that you could make with whatever. And then here they get into the recipes and the cooking. Isn't that adorable? I love it. I don't know if it's recipes. Oops, it may not be, but it certainly is ideas. There might be recipes in the back. I don't know. Let me move that. Sorry, that's kind of noisy. So, cute little prim doll. Little primitive ghoul doll, I guess. Little potions. And, you know, you can get all kinds of cute little bottles and stuff. Thrift stores. Dollar Tree sometimes has them. And if they don't have them, they do have what can sometimes look like an apothecary jar, and those work out really well. You can also, you know, ask your grandmas and your great-grandmas if they have some old bath salts and things that they don't use, because they always end up stuffed under a sink someplace, and they don't use them. And they can be shaped like this, but like this here looks like a syrup jar. I recognize that. I have a syrup jar that looks like that in the fridge. So all kinds of cute little things. And, you know, you can... you know, gussy up these tops too. You can add, this looks like those are drawer pulls. Cute. And you can make your own. You know, you could get a couple of little washers, stack them up, you know, use a good adhesive, stack them up, and then stick a marble on the top, or, you know, some other round bauble that you can find at Dollar Tree. You don't have to get like individual drawer pulls that can be, you know, $3 to $10 a piece, you know, so there's ways to go about that. So great little potions, and it has the ingredients. These are bath potions, but anyway. And then there's the cute idea there for the shoes. Adorable. They're so cute. And then this, just a cute, clever idea on making a topiary. And then some more crafty stuff here. Usually got that. And I wish there wasn't so much glare, but the paper has a sheen to it. Beautiful table setting, kind of spooky. And here we go, some more interior. And oh, bath salts, beautiful. Oh, I love that photograph. Isn't that gorgeous? Now see, I look at stuff like this and I just get inspired by the colors, because I make journals, or even just those colors in a room or a table setting. Incorporate the colors together and you can kind of create that same kind of spooky, earthy, magical, if you will, look. And that's really, really pretty. So you don't just have to use it just for the bath salts. This can inspire an entire journal or something, and all the colors that you use within it that would all color coordinate and be beautiful. So let's see, more of that. I don't know if they drew that, if that's drawn on there, but untie my tongue, or if it's stamped. But anyway, here's some tags, super cute, or cards. Cute little jack-o'-lantern girl, I guess. Cute little ghost. Looks, it says woodwork, so I'm assuming it's carved, maybe, I don't know, but you can use clay too, air dry clay. And some things to sew, and oh, aren't those cute? Also to sew, a little witch's house call kit. I don't know what that would be, but little herbs and things. I don't know. They have fake stuff. It says Eye of Newt, Gold Dust, Angel Tears. Now, a lot of you have seen some of my work from some time ago. You know, I make a lot of dioramas and shadow boxes, and so inside the little containers, I'll, you know, add parsley and some basil and some thyme, dried thyme, you know. So it looks like herbs, but it's, you know, it is herbs, but it's not anything weird like, you know, horsetail, not horsetail, but you know what I mean, something more unusual that we don't typically usually have in our home. So anyway, so stuff like that. Cute little dolls. There's more little, looks like clay shoes. They use clay. I'm looking. Toddler shoes. Okay, just shoes. All right. Well, if you got some kids who their shoes are running a little threadbare, you could turn them into some cute little shoes with a little spider and a web on it. It's adorable. What else have we got? Oh, how cute is that? Made them look a little more witchy. And this cute little altered towels with some ribbon, and looks like fabric appliques. Maybe something you could cut out of a, you know, some fabric that you buy at the fabric store. I'm so used to saying at Joann's, but you know, they're gone. So an altered card. Oh, cutie pie. Oh, there's all kinds of different ones there. I didn't even notice those. Those are those hand sewn little goodies, the cuffs. How cute is that? Cute little bit more fancy bats. And I think we're getting to the end. Voodoo dolls. Boy, I got a long list of people who need that. Poke. Oh my goodness. Some photos, vintage photos and frames. Your cute little prim type little monsters, kitties, Frankenstein and a kitty. Oh goodness, that, hello. It's cute but creepy at the same time. Little signs and what's this? Oh, decor for the house. And that, you know, like it says, a spooky vignette. And that reminds me, go out to Pinterest or just Google, whatever, and look for Halloween vignettes. And that's how you can add a tiny little bit of Halloween to a little corner or a little table in your house. So you don't, you know, it just adds a little touch somewhere. Sometimes we forget and we put the banners up and all that, and that's great. But if you want a little bit more, but you don't really want to go overboard, just having a little something over on a nightstand or on an end table or something can be so cute. you know, everybody's taste is different. For me, more is more, and it's never enough. As a matter of fact, I'd have a Halloween house all year long, and my house would be painted black and orange if I could get away with it, but I can't. So HOA wouldn't allow that, I don't think. So, and here's another situation where it's not only beautiful. Can you see that? I don't want the glare, but it's not only beautiful in color, but and design, but it's a great way to inspire colors to use in a journal or something like that, you know. That's cute. Oh, and this is cute too. Look at that. I have some vintage typewriters, and they took just ribbon and put it there if you're missing ribbon. Now mine has the original ribbon in it. It's all dry, but isn't that cute? That's clever. And some little recipe things here, and outdoor design. Gets a little too cold where I live. You know, when you're in the desert, it's hot, hot, hot in the day and cold at night. So, except in the summertime, but in the spring and the autumn, it can be that way, where it's really chilly at night and pretty warm during the day. So, anyway, so I thought you might want to see this. It's $16.99. Go check it out before they're gone. And I hope you're having a great day. And hard to believe, it's what, September 8th? My goodness, Halloween's just around the corner. So anyway, have a great day, y'all. Happy Monday, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.